Stepson said I should stop calling him son. So I stopped calling his mechanic, dentist, and tuition office too. The phone stayed busy for days. Hello everyone, welcome to Reddit Visuals. Have you ever had someone take your kindness for granted so long that they forget it's a choice you make every single day? I'm Jim, 48 years old, married to my wife Karen, and I'm a small-town contractor with two hands that can fix just about anything, except people who think they're owed the world without earning it. When I married Karen 6 years ago, she came with a 14-year-old son named Tyler. His biological father walked out when Tyler was 7 and hasn't been heard from since. No calls, no child support, no birthday cards. Just gone. So when I came into the picture, Tyler already had his walls up. He was quiet, sarcastic, and had that teenage energy of, "You're not my real dad," before I even introduced myself. I told myself it was fine, that time and consistency could build something real. I didn't need him to call me dad. I just wanted mutual respect. But over 6 years, I didn't just become his stepfather. I became his safety net, his sponsor, his ride or die, and apparently his personal ATM with no emotional value attached. I did everything a father would do, helped him buy his first car when he turned 16, a used Honda Civic, nothing fancy, but solid and safe, added him to my car insurance policy because his mom's credit couldn't get him decent rates, got him into a good dentist when Karen's insurance wouldn't cover the orthodontics he needed, fixed his laptop when he dropped it in the driveway, backing out too fast, paid for half his community college tuition when his part-time job at the hardware store couldn't stretch far enough, and financial aid fell short. I didn't brag about it. I didn't keep a running tab to throw in his face. I just did it because I thought that's what families did. That's what fathers do. But Tyler treated kindness like a credit card with no limit and no statement. He'd spend it, pocket the benefits, and act like the account would never run dry. The more I helped, the more entitled he got. And every single time I tried to set a boundary or ask for a little gratitude, Karen would jump in with, "He's just young. He'll mature eventually." Well, 6 years later, he matured all right, into someone who thought I was optional. It started on a Saturday morning in late September. I was replacing cracked tiles in the kitchen, on my knees with a trowel, when I heard Tyler on the phone in the living room. He was talking to one of his buddies, voice casual, almost amused. "Yeah, my mom's husband is fixing the floor again. Dude's obsessed with playing house and pretending he's my dad. It's kind of pathetic." My hand stopped mid-motion. The trowel felt heavy. I wasn't eavesdropping on purpose, but when someone guts you in your own home, the words hit like a cold slap. I stayed there on the floor for a minute, just breathing, trying to decide if I'd actually heard what I thought I heard. Later that night, I tried to address it. I found him in his room, gaming headset on, yelling at a screen. I knocked, waited for him to acknowledge me, which took a full 30 seconds. Finally, he pulled one side of the headset off. "Yeah?" I kept my voice calm. "Tyler, I need to talk to you. I overheard what you said on the phone earlier. I know I'm not your biological father, but I've been here for you for 6 years. I've shown up. I've supported you. The least you could do is show a little respect." He didn't even pause his game. Didn't look at me. Just said, flat as a brick, "You can stop pretending, man. You don't have to call me son. It's weird. You're not my dad. Just call me Tyler." I stood there in the doorway, words caught in my throat like I'd swallowed glass. I wanted to say a dozen things. I wanted to list every single thing I'd done, every sacrifice, every moment I'd chosen him when I didn't have to. But I didn't. I just nodded and walked out. Karen was in the hallway. She'd heard the whole thing. I looked at her, waiting for her to step in, to tell him that was out of line. Instead, she sighed and said, "Jim, he's 20 now. He's old enough to set his own boundaries. Maybe you need to respect that." Boundaries. That word sat in my chest like a stone. That night I didn't sleep much. I lay there staring at the ceiling, replaying every moment I'd been there for Tyler. Every time I'd put him first, and realizing that to him, I was just a convenient backdrop. By morning, something in me had shifted. Not anger, clarity. If I weren't his father, then I needed to stop doing father things, and I needed to do it quietly, completely, and without drama. Monday morning, I started making calls. First, the dentist's office. Hi, this is Jim Hall. I need you to remove my contact information from Tyler Mitchell's patient file. I'm not his legal guardian, just his mother's husband. Any future appointments or billing should go through Karen Mitchell directly. The receptionist hesitated, said she'd need to confirm with the office manager, but she'd update the records. I thanked her and hung up. Next, the community college bursar's office. I'd set up automatic payments from my credit card 2 years ago to make things easier. This is Jim Hall. I need to cancel the autopay on Tyler Mitchell's account, effective immediately. His mother will handle future payments. The woman on the other end sounded confused. Sir, his fall semester balance is due in 2 weeks. Are you sure? I said, I'm sure. Remove my card from the account. She processed it. Then I called Rick's Auto Repair, the mechanic who'd been servicing Tyler's Civic for 4 years and giving him discounts because of me. Hey Rick, it's Jim. What alignment does Tyler need on the Honda? Don't hold the appointment for him anymore. He'll need to call you directly and pay full rate going forward. Rick laughed, thought I was joking. Come on, Jim, what did the kid do now? I kept my tone even. He told me to stop pretending I'm his dad. So I'm respecting that. He's on his own now. Rick went quiet. Oh, damn. All right, man. I hear you. Last, I called the car insurance company. This one took longer because I had to navigate their automated system, but eventually I got a representative. I need to remove Tyler Mitchell from my policy. He's 20, not a dependent, and I'm no longer willing to cover him. She asked if he had another policy to transfer to. I said that wasn't my concern. She warned me his rates would go up significantly without a parent's multi-car discount. I said, he's got a job. He'll figure it out. I didn't tell Karen what I'd done. I didn't announce it to Tyler. I just let the natural consequences unfold like dominoes falling in slow motion. By Tuesday afternoon, my phone stayed silent, but Karen's phone started lighting up. First, the dentist's office called her about Tyler's upcoming cleaning and asked her to update the contact info. Then the college bursar's office sent an email flagging the overdue balance. By Wednesday evening, Rick called Tyler directly about the alignment, quoted him the full price, and Tyler came storming into the kitchen where I was making dinner. What the hell did you do? He demanded, waving his phone at me. Rick just charged me $160 for an alignment you used to get done for $80, and the school says my tuition payment got canceled. I didn't look up from the stove. Kept stirring the pasta like we were discussing the weather. Well, you told me I'm not your dad. Why would I be handling your car maintenance or your tuition? His mouth opened, then closed. Opened again. That's not what I meant. I finally looked at him. Then what did you mean, Tyler? Because from where I'm standing, it sounded pretty clear. Karen walked in, face tight. Jim, this is childish. You can't just pull support like this without warning. I set the spoon down. Childish is calling the man who's paid your son's bills for 6 years a pretender. He wanted independence. He wanted me to stop calling him son. I'm respecting his wishes. She crossed her arms. You're punishing him for setting a boundary. I shook my head. No, Karen. I'm teaching him what boundaries actually cost. He doesn't get to keep all the benefits of having a father while rejecting the title. That's not how respect works. Tyler stood there, face red, fists clenched. You're ruining my life over one stupid comment. I turned off the stove. One comment after 6 years of taking everything I gave you for granted. You want to know what I've spent on you, Tyler? Let me add it up. Car down payment, $3,000. Insurance premiums over 4 years, about $4,800. Tuition payments, $12,000 so far. Dental work, $2,200. Laptop repair, $300. That's over $20,000. And not once, not one single time did you say thank you. Not once did you acknowledge that I didn't have to do any of it. So yeah, Tyler, I'm done pretending. He stared at me, and for the first time, I saw something crack in his face. Not anger, something closer to fear. He turned and walked out. 30 minutes later, I heard his car peel out of the driveway. Karen looked at me like I'd just burned the house down. He's gone to stay with a friend. Are you happy now? I wasn't happy. I was exhausted. But I was also done carrying someone who refused to walk beside me. The next few days were tense. Karen was furious, barely speaking to me except in clipped, necessary sentences. Tyler didn't come home. I kept working, kept cooking dinner for 2 instead of 3, kept living my life. On Friday, exactly 2 weeks before the semester registration deadline, Karen got a call from the college. Tyler's account had been frozen due to non-payment. He couldn't register for spring classes until the balance was cleared. She came into my workshop, voice shaking. "Jim, they froze his account. He's going to lose his spot in his classes. You're going to make him fail a semester over this?" I looked up from the table saw. "I'm not making him do anything. He's an adult. He has a job. He can figure it out the way millions of other students do: loans, payment plans, and picking up extra shifts. You've been enabling him, Karen, and so have I. But I'm done." She left without another word. That weekend, the house was silent in a way that felt almost sacred. No music bleeding through walls, no footsteps overhead, no passive-aggressive door slams, just quiet. And for the first time in 6 years, I realized how much energy I'd been spending trying to earn love from someone who saw me as a transaction. 2.5 weeks later, on a Wednesday evening, I came home from a job site to find Karen sitting on the porch, her face softer than it had been in days. She handed me her phone. "He texted. He wants to talk to you." The message read, "I get it now." I said something I shouldn't have. "You didn't deserve that. Can we talk?" I looked at Karen. "Did you tell him to send this?" She shook her head. "No. Said he needed to make this right himself." We met at Frank's Diner the next evening, the same place I used to take him for pancakes when he was 15 and failing algebra, and needed someone to believe he could pass. He was already sitting in a booth when I arrived, looking smaller somehow, like the weight of the past few weeks had pressed him down. I slid into the seat across from him, said nothing, just waited. He started talking before the waitress even brought water. "I've been working double shifts at the hardware store trying to cover the tuition," he said, voice rough. "I called financial aid. They said I can get a loan, but it won't cover everything. I tried to get on a payment plan, but they want a cosigner, and Mom's credit is shot." He looked down at his hands. "I went to my manager and asked if I could pick up weekend shifts too. He said yes, but even then, I'm going to be about $2,000 short for the spring semester, and my car insurance went up to $240 a month. I didn't realize how much you were covering until it was gone." I let him finish. Then I said, "Tyler, I didn't do this to hurt you. I did it because you needed to understand something. Respect isn't just a word, it's an action. For 6 years, I showed you respect by showing up, by paying for things, by being there, and you treated it like it was owed to you. You wanted me to stop calling you son? That's fine, but you don't get to have it both ways. You don't get to reject the relationship and keep the benefits." He nodded, tears forming in the corners of his eyes. "I know. I was a selfish idiot. You've been more of a dad to me than anyone, and I threw it in your face because I was mad about something stupid. My buddy's stepdad is a jerk, always reminds him he's not real family, and I guess I just projected that onto you, but you never did that. You were just there, and I'm sorry." I took a breath. "Tyler, here's what I'll do. You covered half your tuition this semester from your own work. Every dollar you earn toward it I'll match. Not as your ATM, not as someone you're using, as someone who believes you can rise to the challenge if you actually try, but you're covering your own car insurance from now on. You're managing your own appointments. You're becoming the adult you said you wanted to be." He wiped his eyes with the back of his hand. "That's fair. More than fair. Thank you." Then he paused. "Can I still call you when I need advice? Or is that off limits now?" I almost smiled. "Tyler, advice is free. It always has been. What costs money is me doing everything for you while you learn nothing. Ask me anything. I'll always answer. But I'm not your safety net anymore. I'm your backup. There's a difference." We shook hands across the table. It felt different than a hug, more solid, more equal. When I got home, Karen was waiting. "How'd it go?" I sat down beside her on the couch. "He's going to be okay. We're going to be okay. But Karen, you need to hear this too. You enabled him just as much as I did. Every time he disrespected me and you stayed silent, you taught him that it was acceptable. If we're going to make this work as a family, we both need to hold him accountable, not just me." She was quiet for a long moment. Then she said, "You're right. I was so afraid of losing him that I let him treat you like you didn't matter. I'm sorry." That apology meant more than she probably knew. It's been 4 months since that dinner conversation. Tyler earned enough through double shifts to cover $1,500 of his tuition. I matched it, and he registered for spring classes on time. He's managing his own car insurance now, complaining about the cost but paying it. Last week, he fixed a broken cabinet hinge in his room himself instead of asking me to do it. When I noticed and complimented him, he grinned and said, "Learned from the best." A few nights ago, we were all having dinner together, something that feels less strained now, almost normal. Tyler looked at me and said, "Hey, remember when my tuition mysteriously used to get paid on time every semester?" I raised an eyebrow. "Mysteriously?" He laughed. "Yeah, some kind of miracle worker was handling that. Crazy how miracles stop when you act like an entitled brat." Karen choked on her water. I smiled. "Miracles cost money, kid, and respect." He nodded. Lesson learned. Here's what I learned through all of this. People don't value what's given freely without limits. They value what they almost lost. And sometimes the most loving thing you can do is stop enabling someone and let them face the weight of their own choices. Tyler needed to feel what life looks like without me before he could see who I'd been all along. And honestly, our relationship is stronger now than it ever was. It's built on mutual respect instead of obligation. And that's worth more than 6 years of silent resentment. So Reddit, was I wrong for teaching my stepson this lesson? Should I have kept paying his bills to keep the peace, or was it fair to let him feel the cost of his own words? Let me know in the comments what you think, and tell me if you've ever had to show someone what respect actually means when they take you for granted. And if this story hit home, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell. It helps the channel grow and lets us bring you more stories that cut deep and heal deeper. Thanks for watching.